young age, your brain couldn't adjust. Your brain couldn't identify. Your brain couldn't manage what was happening. It was too much. Somebody was abandoned. Somebody was neglected. Somebody wasn't catered for. Your emotional needs was not met. You cry and cry and cry. Nobody pampered you. And you thought it was normal. No, something was happening to you. Am I communicating? Two expectations from parents. Expectation was very high. You have to always hide. You have high marks. You have to do well every area of life. You show up physically, you must be perfect. You come home with results, you must be on the top 2. You go to church, you must have the top, spiritual, whatever it is. They are doing quiz, you must be in the front. You must greet everybody. You must just be perfect at 5, at 8, at 10. And that wasn't what life should be about. Am I communicating? So what happened to you? You were deprived of freedom to be a child. Have I worked with people who don't know how to play? Some of us are like that. We don't even know how to relax. We are too rigid and stiff because they have stolen our childhood. We never had freedom. Was it last week? It was raining and I told my kids, let's go and play in the rain. And they were so excited. And at a moment I paused. These were things we were beaten for doing. And I said, let me get into my shorts. You to go and get into your shorts. And suddenly it became very windy. And I said, we can't bath in the wind. Let it calm down. But honestly, I was looking forward to go out with them. And we eventually did. Some of us were beaten blue, black because we acted as a child. Your brain retained those things. It filed it away. And I will tell you how it's still affecting you. Some of us never had a rich or consistent emotional connection. That one is very deep. No emotional love. Nobody told you, I love you. Are you aware some people find hugging as a negative trigger? You hug them and it's as if you have opened a can of worms. They are destabilized because they are not used to it. You never had anybody say they love you, they want you around. Everything you hand in life, you have to what? You have to work because you want to impress your parents or those caregivers. And that was all your brain memorized. That was all that your brain filed. And you thought that was life. You had parents who abused work, who abused drugs, who abused substance. Your father sent you to buy cigarette. He sent you to buy alcohol. You saw him drunk for some of us. You saw them drunk. They had quarrels. And as for some of us, we never had a father or a parent who made us feel you mattered. They were trying to do the best they know they can, but they were damaging some of us. Am I communicating, friends? So what happens to you? Extreme independence as a child. It wasn't supposed to be. I remember working with a woman who at ages 10 goes to Oyibo market, Eko Idumota, Eko market, all alone for years. At 10, from maybe Ifo, the mother would just put her in a bus. When you get here, ask for so and so, mama, she will shop, and that was her lifestyle for years. And so she's an adult and she cannot relax. Because the neurons that has been formed in her brain is that you have to always be active and be doing something. And that is not life. And so she gets into a relationship, she picks up the attitude with the person. That person cannot relax beside her. Must I be doing something at every point in time? When I call you, you must be in the market. You cannot be lazy around me. What are you going to cinema to do? It's funny, but that is her life. And the most painful part was that she felt it was normal. You know, some of us, we have lived in so much abnormality that the abnormal has become normal. Am I communicating, friends? My next slide, please. Some of us, we have absentee parents. We thought it didn't affect us, or it affected us. Right now, we are also absentee parents. They neglected us. Right now, we are neglecting our own. Because this person, this pure person, this child, call my darling sister. child that was pure hasn't realized that something has happened internally. Until an intervention happens, this person is damaged forever and will damage some people who come close to him or her. And I'll let you realize that. Some people don't even know their parents. I work with a young girl who said, what exactly is life? I don't even know. Mom, I had, she dropped me when I was 2. And then my dad remarried. And the stepmother became, a witch. I left, they transferred me to grandma. I was there, I was abused for 7 years. Damaged life before 13. And so automatically the guilt felt, nobody wants me, so I can throw myself at anybody, but there's no value. So sometimes when we look at where we are, we need to look back. How did I grow up? How was I raised? What was I exposed to? What happened to me? My next slide, please. Some of us experience shame. No. We experience shame as a method of discipline. You will at ages 8, they now tell you to carry your mattress. From 10th story building. In the morning, 7:30 when your mates are going to school. Oh, you now carry it. You were 8, you were 10. That was something happening to you that needed care and attention, but they shamed you with it. These are things we sit down with people in therapy and they break down because they remember 25 years ago an incident that happened. Some of us never, anytime you do wrong, you were shamed. That's why I tell parents, and I also try to do it. Even if I have to correct my child, I make sure their self-esteem is intact. I can correct them without shaming them. But some of us never had that. Anytime they had to correct you, they had to shame you. They beat you publicly, they harass you publicly. You have to be naked to be flogged. Verbal abuse and shaming. The way they tongue lash some of us, that one is my own. It took the grace of God. Maybe I wouldn't be confident standing in your presence this morning. I just had my mommy's friends. They were 2. It was as if they sent them to me. Anytime they show up, they had something unnice to say about me. And for whatever reason, my mom started to pick up. And I just always feel very, very uncomfortable with myself. And the thought started to, rent a space in my head. There's something about you, Kemi, that is not okay. There's something about you. And I started to have that feeling. And I would go to church as a young girl. You can sing, come and sing. I can't. I started feeling and hearing those words, those verbal abuse. It took me reading that book, 30 Days of Affirmation by Matthew Ashimolowo. I can never forget that book. And that was why when I started my journey into neuroscience, I had to go and study what meditation does to the human brain. I read that book like mad. It was a confession, positive confession about yourself. I bought the book, very expensive book. I was maybe less than 22 or so. And it was original. There was no photocopy. You had to go to Maryland to buy the original. So I entered this bookshop and they said it's kine 1,000 money. It was pounds and I had to buy. But that book was a deliverance. I read that book every day for years because those verbal abuse was so much. Because you know what verbal abuse does? It doesn't mean you will hate your parent. You will hate yourself. You may not hate the person that is saying it. It is you that you will just begin to feel irritable about yourself. Maybe some of us are also like that. Or you went to sexual abuse. You were abandoned emotionally as a child. I was preaching somewhere yesterday and I said, if the only thing you provide for your family is money, you are an irresponsible parent. If all you just do and do is just and that's all you give. You give no care, you give no time, you give no love, you give no attention, you give no hug. You are not raising an awesome child. And that was how some of us were raised. One day I had to ask my dad, Daddy, why take man so quick? Thank you. My dad died about 3 years ago. I was almost 78. Pastor Shola, I will send you out. As you know, it is when you have done something, Pastor, and you are almost dying, that we hear, kushe. Even the kushe is reluctantly said. And I had to ask him one day, can't you, how have you coped with my mom for years without you being appreciative? And he said, he should thank me for what? What are you doing? He said, what am I doing for him? I wash your clothes, make sure you are fine, give you a medication, do this and do that. He said, I grew up as an houseboy. I lost my daddy at 7, lost my mom at 11. So I worked as an houseboy for different aunties. And with all that I do, nobody told me thank you. As the houseboy, it is the remnants when everybody has eaten that I will eat. But you, your mommy cook fresh meal. You eat. I pay your school fees. I buy, come on, get out. I'm telling me to tell you thank you. But you know what that did to me? I went off and I said, my God, this was when he was in his 60s. He still remembered. I will grow up and I was affecting him. But did he heal from it? He didn't till he died. It was once a while, when he eventually became healed, we had to nurse him and all of that. He learned to say thank you. But that was what life taught him. So from that day, I started blaming him. I had to begin to empathize with him. That perhaps if he grew up with his parents and they showed him love and care and attention and emotional support, he would know how to replicate it to us. And that's where some of us are. The reason why some of us are not married is because God is just preventing us from the damage we would still cause. Because he knows if you don't heal, if you don't get proper intervention, you are going to mess up other lives. So what happened to you? Maybe you lost a loving parent. This is even common. We hear it in therapy. My mom was fantastic. My dad was fantastic. And they left. And so they never trust anybody. So they get into a relationship and the person shows them all the love. And they are fearful. You are going to leave. If you don't die, you shall leave me. And so they bring that fear into relationship. And so the relationship doesn't work. Because as they think, so would happen. So what happens to you? You were rejected and isolated. You cry, nobody is there to support you. You are sick, nobody is there to help you. Because neglect is a form of abuse. That is cold, you want cardigan, nobody bought for you. Those things, when you sit in people in therapy, you will know how painful it can be. And how their memory has stored it and filed it. Nobody cared, nobody loved you. So you had formed by yourself that I'm all that I need. How can somebody like that thrive in a relationship? You have a relationship, so they are in relationships, but they feel lonely. Because all by themselves, they have had to figure life out, all by themselves. So now they have a partner, but they can't still share, they can't communicate. So overly exposed to inappropriate activities. Sexual abuse is a monster. People heal from sexual abuse. They heal from sexual assault. Some minds are messed up before 13, before 8. Right now we see 10-year-old hooked on pornography. It's no story. That's the reality. And some of us were like that as well. And we were not healed from those activities. We filed it. And it's going to show up. It's going to play out in some ways. Except we find healing. Am I communicating, friend? So some of us were deprived. Playful childhood. We never had loving caregivers. Our parents were not there. Maybe I have not mentioned what happened to you. Maybe it was rape. Maybe it was incest. Whatever it was. Some of us found healing along the line. We came to church. We found Christ. Yeah, for some, that was the healing they needed. The psycho-spiritual support some of us got was all that healed us. But you know what? It's not going to work for everybody like that. Unfortunately, I've met people who said, there was a guy that was an addict smoker. Smoked anything smokable. They have preached, they have talked, they had gone for counseling. Nothing happened to him. But he loved one of his uncles, and the uncle was on the dying bed. He had lung cancer. And he would always go to see the uncle, cheer him up, pray for him, blah, 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 and all of that. Almost every day he would be with the uncle. And then the last day he went to the uncle to check him in the hospital, his bed was empty. And they told him he had passed. He went outside and bought a few cigarettes. As he started to smoke that same day, as he was just smoking, trying to forget the pain of his uncle's demise, he started to cough. He was coughing so bad, they admitted him on the same bed they had just lifted his uncle from. The moment he slept on that bed, he said something happened to him. Like if you don't stop smoking, you are going to go down the same way your uncle did. And that was the last day he smoked. Some people need encounter, some need experience, some need deliverance, some need therapy. So the fact that it happened for him like that doesn't mean another person, even let the father die. He may say he's even trying to console himself with smoking more. So look at this damaged person. Whatever has happened to this person. And this person doesn't find help, doesn't find healing. So what do you think is happening to this person? My next slide. There are several ways it is showing up for Ojutu. Several ways, all the things I've mentioned, at least you can say you went through 3 of it. Can I see you shoot up your hand? All the things I've mentioned, childhood trauma, childhood pain. Right, look at this. Every hand, even my own, I've told you my own. Every hand is hope. And you know what? Those things are still there. Inside this water, you can see it. But you know what? If I flush this same water under a lot of clean water, will it become pure? It will. Will it become pure? If I put it down now and I begin to pour a lot of water inside it, that pouring water is what I call intervention. Because if this person marries, there are people like that already who are married and they are still like this. Because there is no way you will go through some of those things I've highlighted, which are painful memories, traumatic experiences of childhood, that if you don't confront them, if you don't deal with some of them, it will affect you in life, in relationship, at work. So it's showing up for some people as lack of self-love. I've mentioned a few. It's showing up for some people. They can't love themselves, they can't love others. I'm currently working with a young woman who is always fearful in a relationship. The moment that person comes, it takes just max 6 weeks to have all the lovey-dovey excitement. Nothing will happen. She just becomes fearful. And for whatever reason, she will exit. And that's been the cycle for years. Until she begins to think, something is not nice. Because usually, as she has also confirmed, it is not these guys. But all her life, she has never been loved. Because when you grow up in a chaotic environment, even love and peace, it triggers you. You don't understand. Even love, when you find love, I go, there's something about this thing. But is that the intention of God? No. You should love and be open to love and receive it and give it. So self-love becomes a problem. For this person, people pleasing, for some of us. Some people, you will say, I can remove my eyes for somebody else. Something is wrong with you, sir. It's not normal. The Bible says, love yourself. Love yourself as what? At your neighbor, not more than. So when you find people who want to please the world, at their own expense, they are dying, but everybody must be happy. Even Jesus Christ has not pleased all of us. How much more you? It's part of the dysfunction that has happened. Am I communicating, friends? For somebody else, relationship issues. And this one is common. Because normally, this person is supposed to grow up seeing mommy and daddy, having healthy relationship. This person is supposed to learn from the caregivers, from the parents, from whosoever is raising him or her, what relationship is like. So this person doesn't see what love is, doesn't see what emotional connection is, doesn't even know how to love, how to play, how to manage conflict. So usually they would have what? Relationship problems. So many of the things some of us are dealing with in our marriages and our relationship has nothing to do with you and your husband. You don't understand. They are imported problems. We brought them from those who have handled us, who have raised us. So we can't have relationship. We can't build intimacy. We can't show love. We don't understand it because we didn't learn it. And unfortunately, this person thinks it's normal. That's it. That's life. They run away from conflict. When conflict happens, they're supposed to stay and discuss it. Am I communicating? They can't. They didn't see it. They didn't learn it. Their brain cannot adjust to it. Right. So they have relationship phobias. Some have sexual problems, low self-esteem, which is also common. They enjoy isolation because they have always been worth. And you find some people saying it very proudly. I don't have friends. I just like to be by myself. It's just me. I don't like people in my space. It's not. It shouldn't be. We are social beings. We need human beings. We need human connection. Am I communicating? So some is sexual problems. They have dysfunctional libidos. Is it that they don't want sex? Is it that they want it too much? Is it that they're addictive about sex? Something is just wrong somewhere. It's no fault of this person, but the contact in the lives of this person. Because you don't go through sexual abuse and not get intervention and think that everything will be fine. Because how do you explain that the moment the light goes off, your wife begins to shiver? The moment you push her to the wall, these are things we see. The moment you push her to the wall to just get intimate with her, her body becomes like a dead person. Because at every instant, that flashback comes of how she was once, how she was abused. Because her abuser will push her to the wall and switch off the light. So you pity the man. Now me abuse you. No. I did here. No. Now I marry you. Why will I marry and won't have sex with my wife? And then you wonder. And until we go back to reframe that issue, that person may never be able to enjoy sexual intimacy with their partner. I'm saying this because I know of the truth. One or two people might be here. Because everybody has raised their hands that you fall into that category of the things I've mentioned. Some of us are married, some of us are yet to be married. So if you don't deal with them, you will get into relationships, you get into marital relationship, and there will be what? Compounded problems. Some people get abusive. Nobody wants to kill the wife. And nobody wants to kill the husband. Something happens to that man. Nobody turns a monster overnight. So we should pity the abuser and also pity the abused person. We should pity that person who feels that I want to have control. I want to be in charge. I want to suppress you. I want to beat you. Don't you say that our children do what we do? Some of us who grew up from abusive homes, is it that we are very abusive or we also run away from being abusive? Or we also do not abuse. But the tendency is high for you to replicate where you are coming from. Am I communicating? If nothing happens, you will transfer the same thing. The way your mother did, the way your father does, what you will do. And we'll discover that the cycle continues. And we say it's generational curse. No, it's ignorance. I'm just doing what I saw. So we can't communicate feelings because nobody paid attention to our emotions. Am I communicating? So now you are an adult, it becomes a problem to communicate feelings. Like the guy I told you who was raised by a police officer and a soldier. It wasn't he alone. Everyone in the family was like that. They can't talk, they can't express themselves. They have this look all the time. They can't smile. They can't relax. Because for 20-something years, that was the consistent thing in the family. So some have anxiety problem. They have nightmares. They cannot be vulnerable. Some grew up and they are hard to predict. They are hard to please. So how can you have a relationship with people like this? Are you seeing the chain? What happened to me? I didn't heal. I get into a relationship. So what do you think would happen to this person? If this person now meets another damage. Yeah. So this is Ojutu, and this is Ojuma. So if these two marries, what do you think would happen? Unfortunately, they will have a functional relationship, but it will be abnormal. You don't understand. If these two damage marries, because they are used to the same kind of things, they would have, it will be basketballs, it will be everything, but they will both stay in there. Yeah, because this will trigger this person. Am I communicating, guys? Why I'm doing this is to know where you are. Are you here or here? Because if you are here, the damaged, the broken, you are coming with baggages. And the baggages will show up in different ways. You know, when we hear, that guy has baggages, it simply means that, wala deo. Maybe attitude-wise, right? Emotional-wise, character-wise, lifestyle. It's not this person's fault. But again, imagine if this happens. A secured, healthy, no brokenness, or just mild. Because as a matter of fact, being born is even traumatic. They now born you in Nigeria. And there was no lights that day. Right? Because some people would be like this. You find a secure, wonderful, decent, functional home, stable background. Am I communicating? Correct person. For whatever reason, they find themselves attractive and they get married. This person then discovers there is a brokenness here and takes up that part of a healer. Wants to help this person, which is normal in relationship. True or true? So if this person is open to help, read this book I read, attend this program I attend, that's the flushing I'm talking about. This person begins to get clean over time. But this person must be strong enough to help this person. If not, this individual will stain and damage this person. And that's what's happening in relationships and marriages. And that damage can take 20 years. And so right now you find out, we are 40 years, I want to get a divorce. Because this person has been strained and drained in the work of trying to heal this damaged good. This person can actually be healed, is what we do in therapy. We heal their thoughts, their minds, their emotions, their character. We reframe the brain. We recalibrate it. We take them back to those memories and we replace it with healthy thoughts. And they get better. But many are not willing to go that hard work. And so this person sometimes gets drained and say, I want to go. Or this person, and when this person is leaving, this person is, am I communicating, friends? This person is not living as the same person who came into these dynamics. Because that's what relationship does. Relationship trauma can kill. So where are you on this journey? What's happening right now in your mind? Because before you can become a better spouse, sometimes we have to look back and begin to do the work of what? The work of healing. The internal work of change has to happen. And we have to admit how it has affected us. My next slide. For some, is extreme anger, this person. So when you find people who are always aggressive, always angry, always shouting, always... It doesn't mean that this person cannot become the president of Nigeria. This person can thrive in other areas, but emotionally, relationship-wise, there is a what? A problem. And so that's what happens sometimes when you say, this guy is a Yoruba demo boy, has a good job. You see him, everything is, the gators is, When the guy enters, the perfume spreads everywhere. But internally, and it's not just men, actually. We also have women who are like that. Am I communicating? So, this person was staff partner of companionship and romantic love. Romance is even far from them because nobody showed them. Nobody taught them. But they had to learn it. They had to understand it. They have to live it. Am I communicating? They are either unfriendly or overly friendly. Somebody is remembering someone like that. Don't remember anybody. Just focus on yourself. Let's just what? Focus on ourselves. They seek love in the wrong places. They seek love in the wrong, maybe a man or a woman. You just seek love. We are seeking attention because you never had it. And sometimes you are looking for the right thing in the wrong places. And so you get hot. You get hot. You get hot. And those hot is actually is giving you certain mindset, ideology, perception towards life. Some, they are rigid, they are paranoid, they are obsessed. They are fixated. They are unbending. When they say it is like this, no matter what anybody says, that's where they are going. It shouldn't be. That's not normal. They have the perfectionism craze. It shouldn't be. Because in life, you would fail. Am I communicating? Because their parents had put them on that pedestal. You must always do well. And that's why when some of them hit a major failure in life, they get so low and depressed. Because they are not used to it. Because even if you always want to fail, if you always want to succeed, rather, you will at some point meet what? Failures. So they can drain partner of behaviors. They can cry excessively or they can't even cry. They can't feel pain. They want to always control. They always want to impress. So where are you? Where am I? How is it affecting us, those things you went through? Perhaps some of us have not had the time to sit down with ourselves to really say, these behaviors that I have. Because trust me, it's not your fault, it's not my fault. Something happened to us. Something what? Happened. We didn't like it, we didn't expect it, we didn't want it, but it happened. And it has damaged some of us, it has broken our spirit. We have baggage, so we need to unpack what is in your bag. Is it bitterness? Is it hunger? Is it strife? What's in your bag? But the most happy side is that there is healing, there is hope. We can change. Because the pain some people are going through in their marriages is so much. Because when we work with couples and you realize that sometimes, why is this person behaving like this? Because these are not normal behaviors. And when you sit down with that person and begin to, drill down and ask questions, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened. So this is why you are like this. And it's affecting your relationship. So how do we heal? Thank you very much. Just drop it. How is this person going to heal? What do we need to flush down and make this person what? Pure again? Even if you cannot achieve the exact soul that baby has, we can achieve something that is not what? Going to keep hurting him or herself and hurting others that they come in contact with. When we hear a hurting person can't love, that's what it is. So the first thing you need to do is to accept that the damage happened. Something happened to me. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't even aware that all that was happening was going to affect me emotionally this bad. Because the danger is also that you will get married and you would have children. Like I was saying, if damage and damage marries, they will have a functional relationship somehow, but the people that will, before that damage will be the children, because they will grow up seeing the dysfunction their parents display and they think is what? Is normal. So accept that what? The damage happened. The dysfunction happened. The trauma happened. The rape happened. It wasn't your fault. The sexual abuse happened. It wasn't your fault. The neglect happened. It wasn't your fault. The emotional abandonment happened. It wasn't your fault. That person died and left you, and it feels like as if you don't have anybody. And so when people come into your life, you cannot hold on to them because you think they would leave. And you have that thought so strong enough, it becomes your reality. Or those You never learned how to communicate. You don't learn how to express. You want to always isolate yourself. You feel, no, why do I need somebody to be around? Why do I need to speak my mind to someone? So how do you want to develop a healthy relationship that way? So accept that what? The damage happened. Understand what happened and how it's affecting you negatively. That's the first thing to do. Because if you don't accept that something happened, will you heal? No. The same way in the medical world, you can decide to walk away and say, I don't want that injection. I don't want that medication. Nothing is wrong with me. And they will tell you, can you please what? Sign that you are leaving. If anything happens to you, you are not going to be responsible. I've done it a few times as well. And they didn't hold me down. I signed, I walked away. Nothing is happening to me. Until the thing becomes gang, I ran back. Don't blame yourself for what happened. Because some people then begin to blame themselves and wallow in that pain and that pity, and they never get helped. That even makes it worse. I'm like this because of what happened to me. No. And so I tell married couples, the most irresponsible thing to say to your partner is that that's the way I am, you accept me like that. Maybe you saw me like this before you married me, accept me like that. That's an irresponsible thing to say. Even if I trusted you enough that, yes, you have common sense, I married you. And then you are not open to change, you are not open to adjust, you are not open to compromise, you are not open to improve. Is that life? Because many of us cannot say that at work. You have deliverables, you have to what? Deliver. If you have to read a book, you will read it to get the job done. Am I communicating? So we also need to make a note. How has this affected me? This is what we do in counseling room. How has this thing affected me? Let's make a list. It's affecting me in how I see people. Are you aware that some people are so negative? Yeah. They are so negative that the moment they see a new person around them, they just go, that person cannot like me. That person cannot like me. That person cannot, can't relate with me. It has nothing to do with the person, but what your internal struggles. Or you just see someone and all that you can see are the negatives, no matter how beautiful that person is. As I stand in front of you, a negative person cannot see anything pleasant about my standing here. They have 1,001 thing that is not working in this my standing. Don't let's laugh it away. There are human beings like that. It's not a fault of theirs, but over time, life has taught them, excuse me, there is nothing good about life. So how do you want to relate to someone like that? Am I communicating? Make a list of how it's affecting you. You have to be honest with yourself. At least if everybody is lying to you, don't lie to yourself. Can't shame me. Something is what is doing me. Make a list of it. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. How are you currently relating with your parents? Sometimes when we do this assessment, we say, write the things you don't like about your parents. We are very quick to write it. And we now say, write the things that, if from this list you are currently doing, you will realize that you will take almost 50%. Or the same thing you don't what? You don't like. Is in that list. So one of the first ways is that you need to practice meditation. Of the positives that you want to see. When you write what you are doing, or when you write the things you have seen, these are the ways what I've been through is affecting me. And this is what I want. I get angry easily. I'm aggressive. Am I communicating? I don't have self-love. I please people at my expense. But this is what I would rather be. And you come up with a confession for yourself. Because listen, the only thing your brain needs is repetition of the positive things. The more your brain gets repetition of the right information, it will store it and it would help you to change your behavior. Because your brain has the capacity to change your behavior. But it needs those information for you to say it more often. Your subconscious mind can be reprogrammed when it hears the information you want consistently. Am I communicating? So this is where I want to be. Write it down. I've just told you how reading a book helped me. I didn't read that book in 1 month. I read it for years. It became a part of me. And what was it? Simple self-talk. So when they tell you that we want to do self-hypnosis for you, it's nothing abnormal. It's just getting into your head and taking away the negative files and putting the right information there. And you are thinking about it every time. It becomes your reality. The same thing we do with drug addicts who are really ready to go all the way. So I want to be like this. Meditate on it. Pray about it. Talk about it. Repeat it. Be accountable to someone. Practice self-talk daily. Be accountable to someone. Let someone check on you. Let someone see you are getting better in whatever struggle you are dealing with. For some, it could be sexual problem. You find someone who says, I have slept with 160 men this year. Yes, 160. It's certainly abnormal, but something is happening to that person's brain. It's not that person's fault. That person is no longer a human being like you and I. There's something happening upstairs. For some, it maybe not that bad for some people, but some people meet a new man today and they have sex with that same person that same day. For some, it could just be that you hate people. You don't want anybody in your space. You don't want to be close to people. There are people like that. And we think it's normal. It's just me by myself. I don't want people around me. I have my space. So get accountable friends to talk to. That can check on you. It could be drinking. It could be hanging out. It could be smoking. It could be whatever addiction you have picked up as a result of what happened to you or whatever behavior. Talk to someone you can trust and tell the person to tell you on it. And when you mess up, go back to that same person. I hope I'm making sense this morning. So forgive yourself for whatever happened. Because sometimes in that dysfunction, you have done a lot of more mistakes. In that dysfunction, without knowing. So forgive yourself. And forgive those who have offended you, who have hurt you, who have messed up your life. Because if they knew better as well, they will have done what? They will have done better. Sit in therapy, go through the process. When you come to therapy and they tell you you have to go through 2 months, don't do 2 days. And say, therapy does not even work. You only came for 2 hours. Because that's the same thing that happens when we go to the hospital and they tell you, go and take this drug for 1 month. And you took it for 3 days. You felt better. You just packed the thing and flinged it. And after 1 week, you are now saying, that doctor, I don't even know, maybe they certified him. But you didn't take your medications. And you expect to get well. So sit in therapy. If perchance your meditation, you're speaking with someone, because you can self-heal. You can self-heal if you pay attention. You can change your subconscious by yourself. You can fill it up with the right informations and the right behaviors. Am I communicating, friends? So picture your new self and connect with people, places, activities that will support that goal. I want to be more friendly. You must check out people who are friendly and be their friends. I want to be more friendly, but you are in your house 24/7. There is a party. I don't want to go. There is one program. It's not necessary. Let's hang out. You shall come up with excuses. There is a new you want to see. You must make sure you find yourself in places, with people, with activities that will enhance what? That new self. And it has to be a deliberate effort because you are used to your pattern. And that was why I told you to stand up and sit down. You are used to stand up, sit down, stand up. So the moment I rephrased your consciousness a bit, you were what? You were unstable. So when I say sit, the first response is to what? Is to sit. Even though I've told you you must what? You must stand. You are used to that pattern. It's going to, because by the time you start that change work, you will begin to have headache. Sometimes you will palpitate. Sometimes you feel panic because your brain is resisting it. Your brain is used to your regular self, which is to shout, to fight, to be nice, to do whatever, unhealthy behavior. So it will take time and it will take repetition. It will take you going out of your comfort zone to do those things that you will not normally do so that you can what? You can heal. Somebody say, I'm healing. I'm getting better. I'm seeing my new self. One of the things I can just make everything we have done today useless, which I pray will not happen, is for every one of us to walk out of that door and say, nothing happened to me. And deny it. Thank you, sir. Denial. Because that's what your brain likes. Your brain likes the auto that it's on. It likes that frequency. It likes the pattern it's used to. If we leave this rug, if they say that for the next 1 year, nobody should pass this high, we should be passing this place and passing this place. After 1 year, what happens to this place? It looks different from here and here. This place will look more dusty and dusty. But we didn't pass here. Abi, it will retain it and even looks brighter. So your brain doesn't want it. That leave this neurons that has been formed. Just leave me like that. But the moment you decide that, no, I want to change it, that will be resistant. But it is for you to be repetitive about it. Nobody should pass here. I don't want this whole way again. I don't want this whole pattern. I want something new. And the more you do it, the more that change becomes effective. So put in the work consistently till you see healing. Till you see your desired result. Put in the work. Talk to someone. Find a book to read. Go online. Speak with people. There is something happening to me I don't want. I don't like. I want to change. Help me. Apologize to people around you, your partner, your parents, your friends, your colleagues. If you realize that this might have been the things you have done as a result of ignorance. Because what? You had baggages. And you also need to forgive yourself. You might have done well with life. You didn't do well with life because those things limited you. You had limiting beliefs. You were not good enough. Those were the things you were telling yourself as a result of what happened to you. I trust God that I'm making sense this morning. Yeah. And so live your life while at it. And that's why I said sometimes that damaged good is still succeeding in some areas of is our life. I'm not saying the damaged good is damaged physically. That's why the coke is inside a container. Oh, goodness, you don't understand. So you can see a damaged good, but it's physically on point. But internally, there's a lot of bleeding, a lot of pain. It's when you come close, you realize that this person is bleeding. And now you are bleeding. I didn't cut you, but you are bleeding on your partner as well. So in as much as you are finding healing to get better in whatever area of life, live your life. You don't now pause and say until I heal. No. Because it's a journey. Am I communicating, friends? Live your life while you are going through your healing journey. And get more knowledge about what happened to you, how you feel, how it's affecting you. Because when you heal, your healing is connected to other people around you. When you get better, it will show in your children. It will show in your partner if you are married. It will show your relationship if you have close relationships. And in no time, you will be happier with yourself that, yes, there were things I used to do before. Now I know better. Now I'm better. Because that should be the whole idea. Am I communicating? I'd like us to just take a moment. I want to take you on a little mind journey. If it becomes intense for you, you might not want to do it. But it's nothing ordinary. It might mean that you might think about some unpleasant things. But the ultimate idea is for us to reflect, and more importantly, on our new self. I stand in front of you holding the mic. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. I've had my struggles, and I've gone through my healing as well. And that's why we encourage people not to think that the abnormal that you are going through is normal. There is help, there is healing. You can get better. When you get better, everything around you begins to glow, begins to see the changes, begins to, benefit from that change that is happening. So I'd like us to just close our eyes. Let's close our eyes. I'd like you to take in a deep breath and feel it. It would be nice to just put your hands on your laps in front of you. Just relax. Sit nicely and relax. If you have books, bag on your hand, on your phone, just put it down. Trust this process. It's going to take less than 5 minutes, but please trust it. Even if it's just to make you relax your nerves, let's just do it. But much more, we want to take a journey inwardly. So I'd like you to take a deep breath in and out. In and out. Let's do that like 5 times. Do it for yourself. Take a deep breath in and out. While you relax your head, relax your shoulders, relax your hand, and feel the breath in your stomach, in and out. Try to maintain a blank thought. Try to maintain a blank mind. And just relax your head as if your head is falling off. Relax your shoulders as if you are dropping a big weight on your shoulder. Just relax it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Relax your hand. Relax your stomach. Let it drop as if your stomach is dropping. Don't tighten your butt. Just relax your butt. Relax your thighs. Relax your legs. Just relax the muscles. No tensed place in your body. Take a deep breath in and out while you maintain a clear mind. I know. Just try. And I'd like you to just remember a few things that happened to you. Let your mind bring it to your memory. Just a few things that happened to you. Your mind will bring it to your memory. Just allow it while you relax your head. Drop your head, drop your shoulder, drop your legs, drop your arms. Whatever your mind brings, permit it. It's trying to bring to your memory something unpleasant that happened to you. Maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. You don't like it, but it happened. While you relax. It's not your fault, but it happened. Relax your head, relax your shoulder. Your mind has the power to remember everything that has happened to you from day one of birth. And there are few things that has happened that is unpleasant, that you have not healed from, and that is still affecting you. Your mind wants to bring it to your memory. Your soul wants to bring it to your memory, because I want you to look back and heal. While you breathe in and out, just relax. Every tensed body, part of your body, relax it. Feel the breathing in your stomach. Remember that scenario. Remember that pain. Remember it. If you have a picture of what you are remembering, allow your soul to bring it to your memory. It was painful. You didn't like what happened, but it happened. While you breathe in and out. It's also affecting you in whatever way. Relax your mind. Your mind may wander, but come back. Your mind is trying to think about other things, but come back to the picture your soul is trying to put in your memory, in your mind. And the question is, what do you want from that pain? What do you want? You want to heal. What does healing look like for you? I want you to picture the positive side of you in the next 1 or 2 minutes while we still do this. Don't be distracted. Don't let your mind wander. When your mind wanders, bring it back. While you breathe in and out and relax every part of your body. You have seen that picture, but what would you rather want? You want to heal from that pain. You want to heal from that abuse. You want to become a better person. So what we are doing now is to have a picture of the new you. Yes, your mind will bring that picture. The picture of a new you. How has it affected you? Maybe even in your eating habit. Now let's have the positive. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Let's have the positive of what you want. Picture that positive. Picture yourself in that new positive that you want. I don't know what it is. While you relax, every part of your body, relax your hand, bring down your shoulder. Bring it down as if you are dropping a weight on your shoulder. Bring down your stomach as if you are dropping something. Something is heavy on your chest, bring it down. It wasn't your fault. God loves you. You were created pure, clean, beautiful, wonderful, a complete soul, a complete spirit, a complete body. You were not meant to have those behaviors. So picture yourself in the new life. Picture yourself in the new life. Enjoy that picture, that positive one. Enjoy it. Enjoy that positive picture. It could be in your relationship with your partner. It could be with your children. It could be at work. You are no longer a slave. Yeah, you were used as the slave, but right now, you are no longer a slave. The Bible says you are complete in Him, who is the head of all principalities and powers. You are complete. You are good enough. Enjoy that new self that you can picture. We are going to come back in a few minutes. Enjoy that new picture. Whatever it is your mind is allowing, just enjoy it while you relax. We are going to come back as I count 10. Enjoy that positive picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. That picture you see of yourself is possible. It's positive and it's possible. It can happen. You can marry. You can have children. You can have wonderful romantic relationships. You can heal. You can be a better person. 5, 6. Relax. Taking a deep breath. 7, 8. While we come back to class. 9, 10. Please open your eyes. So I'd like to take 1 or 2 feedbacks. It's okay to cry. It's very okay to cry, to have those emotions. But the one I want you to focus on is the last one that we thought of, which are the positives. So how did you feel? How do you feel? What came to your mind? When I asked you to switch, what came to your mind? Who would like to share the experience they had? If you don't mind, I'd like to take 1 or 2. Please talk to me, at least 1 or 2. Would you like to share? Would you like to talk to us? No, don't tell me no. I've just taken you on a little mind journey. Yeah, we don't have time. I asked you to, all right, thank you.
I think to a large extent, for lack of no other word, what the Yorubas would say, "Kenyong bakamu." No, when you've just accepted that, okay, it's how far life has brought you. And I think the concern I've always had was about the children, how they've seen enough, they've seen quite some. How do you not raise another set of kids like this? But I think with this, I think picturing a new, and you know, there are just some areas that I just said, it's okay. I think I've had a relatively okay life. And I've even had conversations with God to even say, God, don't bother. Don't bother to make it better than this. I think for the parts that I walk in, I'm okay. And I'm, dialogue with God and just say, don't worry, the ones that are okay are okay. Yes, I think there's a consideration. Before, it wasn't even I was just vehement about, don't bother. The ones that are working are okay to make that. Life is okay with the ones that are working. And the one that has worked, okay, we can live with the whatever, whether the shame or, we can live. But now, there's the depression comes every now and then when you even think that you're stronger. When you think I've overcome that, but there are triggers, and the triggers are silly things. If a call, a disagreement, the triggers are still, and it now takes you backer than the little thing that was like the trigger. No, for me, I've always considered healing not to be a 2, 3. For me, it's a journey. It's a journey. And I think with that, just closing my eyes, then the things that even never gave consideration for, as in, don't go there, it's okay. As in, if I have 4/6, if I have 50, I'm okay. I think the willingness to even just open up and let the fifth be a consideration is there.
For yourself, is this something you would certainly at some point want to open up and maybe get some deeper work done in those places?
Oh, definitely. It's a plan. It's a plan. Maybe not something that I haven't activated it because I just have a couple of, but it's on the list. It is.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
It would be nice to open it up and get total healing. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for her. One more person. Anybody wants to share anything at all? All right. So thank you for listening today again. I want you to please take time for yourself. When two healthy people get into a relationship, it's easier and better. And like I said, most of the things that trouble our relationship are external factors that we bring into it. So any question today? Let's take a few questions if there are questions. You want me to clarify on anything? Maybe not related to what we have talked about today. Anything at all concerning your relationships. Okay. Okay. How do you practically connect current experiences with your past? How do I establish that what I'm going through is a result of specific past happenings? Beautiful. Sometimes because a lot of experiences might have happened over a long period of time, it might take some professional intervention to be able to say, this is what is connecting to this. But here is it. How do I practically connect? The moment that people close to you keep referring to certain activities that you do, keep referring to certain behaviors that you have, and you also know you have those behaviors. For instance, people around you tell you many times, you are aggressive. You are always shouting. You are always angry. You don't know how to relax. You are not, a very friendly. I'm just using those ones as examples. There's something about you that people who are close to you, you are not very friendly. Or you go out of your way repeatedly. Everybody goes out of their way for few people. Right? And maybe occasionally. But when there are certain things that you do and people around you are calling your attention to it, it's something you want to sit down with and really ask yourself, is this something I'm really, really doing? Do I really have these behaviors? How will you connect? It's by sitting down and asking yourself the questions I showed up before we started. How did you grow up? Who raised you? What happened to you? Especially before you were ages 18. Life also happens after ages 18. Trauma happens after ages 18. Why I laid emphasis on those years, because those years your brain is still forming and developing, particularly before 10. They are very impressionable years. They are very, very, whatever gets into your brain at that time determines a lot of your mindset and perception about life. So those years are very, very, very delicate years. Right now, we are trying to still study on ages 8 and 13. Between ages 8 and 13. It's because those years that you are trying to transit from being just a child to a pre-adult. And so your brain is forming. Anything that gets into it, you just believe is the right information to live by. It could be sex, it could be unhealthy information, it could be abuse, it could be anything. So how do you connect it? It's for you. That's why I said the answers you need, the healing you need is inside of you. You may need a guide in form of a therapist, a counselor, a coach to help you ask those questions, those deep questions, to bring them out. And then we can say, yes, you were raised in this environment. That's why you behave like this. You can't grow up in Parkview and behave like someone from Okoko. Something happened. Am I communicating, friends? You can't grow up in an abusive environment and without any intervention, someone expects you to be all nice and decent. Because you will copy from where you are coming from. Your brain is empty. So the information your brain gets is what is activated to live life. That's why I mentioned some people don't even find it comfortable when they are around loving people. It's that bad. We have seen people who say that the way this guy is behaving, it's not possible for somebody to be this nice. Yeah. And that person is sincerely being honest. Because all his or her life, that person hasn't met individuals who are that nice and loving. Even their own biological parents. I remember a guy one time who said, it was when I got on campus, I realized that some people call their dad by name. They shake hands, they hug. It's something to laugh about, but the guy was crying saying it. I didn't believe that you could have a dad. You can shop knuckle with your dad. Really? You had a dad who can come and say that when they go to their house, the dad would invite him and his friend into his bedroom and they would sit on the bed. The guy couldn't believe it. That's so it happens like this in people's lives. I didn't see that. I can't connect with it. So there will be things in your life that is off in some way. Some people might call your attention to it. Or at some point when you sit down with yourself, you will be able to pick them. And ask yourself questions. The last question says, do I like what I currently see? Look at your health. Do I like what I currently see? Some eating habit is not your fault. You picked it from home. Do I like what I currently see? The way you relate with people is what you picked from home. You grew up in a family where there were secrets. They tell you what happens in our family, die in our family. That was how you were programmed. So now you are grown. You are in relationships. You cannot confide. You can't trust. You can't be open. If you are having relationship problems and it is repeated, it's a pattern, something is happening. You date one, it's not working. You date two, it's not working. You are married now, there is problem. Something is the baggage. I think I put up a post about 2 weeks ago. I can't really remember the way I put it, but that if you have this urge to always exit from a relationship when you find yourself in one, something is happening. And the lady came into my DM and said, that is me. That's even what I'm going through right now. I'm already exiting another one for a reason I can't see. Nothing tangible. I can't say this is what this person has done. Something just triggers it and you want to leave. So I think that is the question. You may want to sit with someone. The first person to sit with is yourself. Have a meeting with yourself. So check out areas of your life. At work, at career, with my siblings, with my parents, with my so and so. And be honest with yourself. Where am I on the spectrum? We have people who sit with you and counsel and tell you, I just hate people. I can't just connect with people. We are human beings. We are social beings. God didn't create anybody like that. Some people are so obsessive. We are dealing with different kinds of OCDs. You are in a relationship with someone, You are married to someone and you cannot have sexual intimacy with that person until that person has a bath. The person must be coming out from the bathroom like this before you can touch that person intimately. Is that one normal? If you are married? Normal. That's what some people are going through. That if you are not shasha and clean like this, I can't touch your body. And they are married. When the thing can just come upon you in the middle of the night, you will now say, first of all, go and bath, brush your teeth, use perfume. Before you go and come, the thing that is rising has fallen. Those are extreme cases, though, but we have them. Okay? So I think we don't have any other questions. Oh, okay. You spoke about disconnecting with your past. In a situation where parents fight and argue, abuse each other verbally, and get physical, is it okay to move out? Yeah, like we said, this environment is already a chaotic one. It's not nice, it's violent, and it's not what any child should see growing up. Those kids are already apprenticed. They are seeing daddy and mommy quarrel and fighting. You know, many years ago, they showed the video of these kids now. They were in school, and they wanted to act a drama. They called mommy and called the maybe 6 or 7-year-old. The boy came out. The girl came out. And they said, you are going to be acting daddy and mommy. And the next thing, the guy just grabbed the guy's shirt. You will give me money today. You will give me money for soup today. In school is drama. Because the moment the lady... The moment the girl had, you are doing daddy and mommy, the only picture that came to her mind is daddy and mom at home. Yeah. And so what she has seen over time is how mommy was, jacks off daddy maybe every day in the morning to ask for money. It's not, I'm not telling you drama. So, yeah, maybe you are old enough to move out. I can't say yes or no, but certainly this is not an ideal environment. Because what you see, you will do except intervention happens. Your family background will affect you. It is not prayer. It is going to affect all of us. The way you grew up, if nothing happens, you will replicate what your father did, yet you don't like him. Because that's how powerful the brain is. What you see repeatedly, what you see, you behold. What you behold, you become. So if you are here, they fight. If you are matured enough, I don't even think your intervention can help your parents. They have been like that, only God knows for how long. You might help a bit, but will it change them? Maybe, maybe not. But you are there. They are still housing you. Can you move out on that premise? Yes, if you can afford it, if you think you want to move out. But I'm glad that at least you have that awareness that this is what? Not normal. Because we sit in premarital class and we ask, how did you grow up? My dad beat my mommy. I saw them fight. Blah, 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 blah. When I get married to her, I will not do that by mouth. What have you done? What are you doing right now? And what information have you gathered? Contrary to what you saw for 25 years, that will make this person trust you enough. One book you haven't read, one seminar you have not attended, just by mouth, I will not beat her. Conflict will happen, and that subconscious file will pop up. That's how I saw my dad responded. Nobody wants to kill you. Something happened to that man that killed his wife. And so God forbid another killer is inside this place or is watching online. God forbid. Because sometimes we don't look like it. Except we visit some of those pasts, deal with them, have a better awareness, that's when change can happen. So, if you want to move out, maybe. All right, I'm not seeing it here. I was sexually abused as a kid by a family friend. And I didn't mention so as not to create enmity. Coach K, do you think it's proper to talk to the family? At least one. Well, a sexual abuse that happened many years ago, time doesn't heal. So it's possible that it might be affecting you in any way. Can I talk to the family? Which of the family that offended you or your own family? So I'm thinking maybe your own family, because you didn't talk about it. And talking about it to what extent? What do we want to achieve? How is this sexual abuse affecting you? That should be the most important, and how you can get better. If you want to talk about it to your own family, to who, with who, right? Because it's very sensitive. I have a lot of questions to ask this person. Yes, I have to find out a few more, questions, so that I can't just tell you go and talk. And do I need to talk to the family to feel better? Okay, it might be, presuming that's what she thinks. Sometimes you talk, you feel better. Sometimes you talk, you don't feel better. Because it's unfortunate that everybody just think you have to talk on social media to find healing. Healing doesn't happen on social media. Let me share a type. I was raped, I was abused, and you get you get sympathizers. And sometimes you even get destroyers. And they compound the problem. Am I communicating? So speaking is good. Talking to what extent? To heal, to get better, to forgive yourself, forgive who has offended you. So, and to what? To whom? It's very important. So I'm not going to tell you talk to family or not. If you can talk to me later, please let's talk. Let me ask you a few other questions and see exactly what we want to achieve with the abuse. I'm sorry the abuse happened. It wasn't your fault, a family member. I'm sure every parent can hear that again. The predators are very close than we think. The perpetrators are very, very close. People who abuse some children are usually 95% of the time are what? By people who are very, very close to us. All right. Can one stop a bad habit? Absolutely. How can? Okay. Yeah. What habits, sir? Yes, I addressed it in my teaching. A bad habit can be stopped if the individual is willing to stop the bad habit and put in the work. But how? I've shared a few of it. And what bad habit are we also talking about here? Masturbation, pornography, smoking, drinking, serial cheating. It can't be stopped. It's going to be a long walk for some based on what it is, the intensity, the duration, how long it has been for, and a lot of other factors. I wish you can specify what addiction it is, what bad habit it is. But habit is something you learn. It's a behavior you learn, and you can unlearn it. Right? Your brain can unlearn it. Anything your brain has been used to, your brain can also what? Be unused to it. But there is yes, you can unlearn it and then replace it with a better habit. And that's part of what we do. Because when people say, I want to drop an habit, and you drop an habit, you don't replace it. By the time it comes back, the same way the Bible talks about the 7 demons, it's going to be better. Right? So I want to stop drinking. What would you rather drink? I want to stop this attitude. How would you rather behave? And that was why I mentioned you having a positive new self of yourself to replace during your meditation. If you have not tried meditation, please go home. Record this by your voice, what you want to be, who you want to be. Record it 30 minutes, duplicate it, and sleep with it. Hear it playing in your mind. That's how to reprogram your subconscious. Okay. We've been married for more than 5 years. She's mostly busy with business. I'm the one who mostly asks for sex or makes the move. I'm feeling tired of it. Help. Help. Wow. The person that wrote this question is not happy with all of us, so we are laughing. All of us should be frowning and be sympathizing with this man. Okay. Busyness can affect sex, but busyness shouldn't stop sexual intimacy. Because yes, life is busy. But you are the only one always asking for sex and makes the move. You didn't tell us if she then says no when you then ask her or makes the move. What you are tired of is asking. Right? You would want a partner who would also initiate sex with you, who will be less busy, right? To also desire sex. Because you have not said that, okay, even when you now make the move, she's not there, she's not, available. You are feeling tired. You are feeling tired of her being busy. Yes, maybe you want more frequent sex, right? Maybe you want more time for intimacy, and you would also want your partner to be the one asking and initiating. Right. Sometimes most men feel that perhaps they are not good enough, perhaps they are not attractive enough when their partner is also not initiating sex. Now, why would I be? Are you not enjoying it? If the thing is sweeting you, maybe you will even ask for it. Why would I be the only one always having to initiate it? So it's something, I don't know what's happening in this corner. And this is the pastor's corner. It's pastor's corner. That's where the noise is coming from. Not that they're talking about sex. So, Pastor Lakoma, answer the question, sir. All right, so quick one. I want to believe the couple are here. So you would need to certainly discuss with your wife. Your wife needs to understand how this is affecting you. She needs to understand. She needs to know. I want to certainly believe you might have talked to her. But have that heart-to-heart conversation with her again. Let her realize, let her know how this is affecting your relationship. You want more sex with your partner. It's something that you should have. Let's reach a compromise. Let's reach a healthy, adjustment. Let's meet in the middle. How many days can you do? How many days can I do? What's happening? The busyness. How can we reshuffle? Some couple, because of business, we come up with a timetable. And nobody must be busy on that timetable. Nothing must happen. There must not be any excuse. Once we sit down yes, we draw it in session. And we sign it. If that is what works, everybody has their own palaver. Am I communicating? This is what we're going to stick to. This is your schedule. These are free days. This is what can happen. If you have to plan sex, please plan it. Right? There has to be communication. And everybody, you both need sex in the marriage. It's your right that you're asking for. Right? So let her understand how you feel. And also for the man, appreciate the busyness. She's busy for the family, I believe. Busy trying to make more money. Because sometimes too, perhaps the woman feels, is it all about sex? I'm also trying to make, I don't know the dynamics of their finances. I'm just presuming. Perhaps she makes more, right? Make her feel appreciated. Make her feel that, she's not denying you purposefully, intentionally. Right? And then come to an agreement. Yeah, you want to say something?
Okay. I'm also feeling on the woman, if she is constantly refusing sex and maybe she's not enjoying sex or there is something, she's forming busyness. So, because exactly, if you're enjoying it, you will make the move. And so maybe there are some underlying factors to this.
Beautiful. That should be discussed too. So during the discussion, right, Pastor, what's happening? So maybe she's covering up a business. It's possible. Because if you enjoy it truly and truly, they should not bring it before you request for it. Right? So I think that helped. Don't be tired, my brother. It happens like that. Marriages go through different seasons. Maybe this is your own season. Carry the cross and, pray about it. Encourage your wife. And if after doing all that we have said, nothing changes, please seek more help. Pastor said you should escalate it. Blow it. Blow the whistle. Let third party inside so you can get proper help. All right. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you next month.
I think she deserves a standing ovation. What do you think? Come on. Yes. Thank you so much, ma. Wow. You may have your seats, everyone. Wow. Was it worth waiting behind for? This one they say na eye opener, na real eye opener. Thank you so much for that session. It was explosive. I'm sure, just like the last two sessions we've had, by the time we go and check the number of people that have watched it on YouTube, you'll see that the number just keeps growing. And now that we have other installations joining us, it's going to be wonderful. All right, just a few announcements before we leave. I know a lot of people are itching to get home. Our next meeting is on the 15th of May. All right, so we are reverting back to the third Sunday in the month. We had to make it a fourth Sunday in this one because of Easter. Our book is available. Our book is available. It's for 4,000. So please, if you need a copy, it will be available in the bookshop. She came with some copies. I know you dropped 4 the last time, so we have the number so that we'll settle the fees when we've done selling. Also, I'm sure when you were listening to her, some of you felt like, I need to have a one-on-one with her. Anybody felt like that? Okay, so you do know that she does this professionally. So you can actually contact her, contact our office, and book a session. And because you are from here, I'm sure she'll give you a great discount. So please, if you need to, even as couples, sometimes we say we don't want to tell somebody outside. Like that couple that said, I want more sex. It's possible, like you said the first time you came, that brother doesn't know how to suck breast. That was the first thing you said last time. It's possible that he's trying to bring out orange juice where there should not be orange juice. So please, if you need to book a session with her, kindly do so. She's available anytime, and our office will get you into our schedule, and we all will be better for it. Praise God. Okay. Okay, we'll get our contact details and send it to all the WhatsApp group. But in case there's somebody here that is not part of our WhatsApp group, maybe we'll just allow you to just...
So on social media, it's Kemi Talkin. Kemitalkin. Kemi Talkin without the G. Yeah. 0705 681 6094. It's too fast. 0705 681 6094. It was on the slide. I think that's my last slide.
Let them project the slide. Okay, can you please go to the slide? Can you project the slide, the last page of the slide, so the people at home can also get that? Yeah. Our contact details. It's not there. Okay, it's not coming up right now. We should call it again. She said it's on the slide that she used. It's not there. Okay, they've already moved it.
Kemi Talkin, Kemitalkin. One word at no G. Yeah. 0705 681 6094. Right.
All right, if you also look at the flyer, you see that we have it there. Kemi Talkin is actually on the bottom left corner. And that's our number right there. So, and another, for once again, please, can you appreciate her one more time? I call on Pastor Yinda to close the meeting.
Hallelujah. I trust that this has really been worth it for every one of us, wherever you are, whether you're single, you're married, whatever your level. And like we always say, you know, I think there's even this today's session really gives us a lot to go and chew on. A lot of questions to ask about where we are today, where we are coming from, and how we can create the future we desire where our marriages and relationships are concerned. Tea will come your way next month. Stay keep your heart busy. Keep your God bless you.